Hello, my beautiful reader friends. It's Tiffany with an IE, as you can see. Welcome back to my channel, and today is the first day of fall or autumn, whatever you like to call it. It's the 22nd of September, so I'm doing the Finally Fall book tag, which I'm super excited about. So let's just get into it. So the first question is, in fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. And I chose Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. She is a debut author this year, and this book, oh, look at the little llama, it's so cute. But yeah, this was such a good book. And it's super pretty. Oh, it's also pretty underneath, I think. Nope, it's just black underneath, but yeah, it's really nice. Isabel actually got to design this beautiful cover. So most authors don't get say in their cover art, but she got to design her whole cover. And she also designed the sequel, because this is a duology called Written in Starlight. It's also really pretty. I'll pop up an image here so you can marvel at its beautiful glory. Yeah, so this has to do with, there's some magic, there's some political intrigue and Bolivian politics and all sorts of stuff. The main character, Jimena, is the decoy condesa for the real condesa, Catalina. And yeah, it's really interesting. She finds out that all the things that she believed were mostly not true, so yeah. It's really, really good. I had a lot of anxiety reading this book because I was just so scared about what would happen. So yeah, but it is really gripping, super amazing. I can't wait for the sequel to come out in January, so definitely pick this one up. The next question is, nature is beautiful, but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written, but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. So I ended up choosing two books for this. I chose Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore, and Anna Marie is actually a faculty advisor at BCFA, where I went for grad school. So it's really awesome. They're awesome. And this is the beautiful Owl Crate edition. The regular edition looks like this. And yeah, I just love this cover way more. And it's embossed and it's green underneath. The first line is amazing. I just love this book. But this is about a bunch of women who live on this island, and it's magical realism. They grow flowers out of their hands, but they can't fall in love too deeply with anyone, otherwise that person will disappear. And yeah, it's just so beautiful. You have to read it to see. The other book I chose, this one's won a lot of awards, and she was a debut author not last year, 2 years ago, but I've read all of her books. No, wait. I've read, okay, here it is. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. You can see all the awards. I've read this one and her newest one, which is Clap When You Land. Both of those are written in verse. They deal with heavy topics. So it's just so beautiful. And the audiobooks are read by Elizabeth, and she does such a great job. So yeah, the only book I haven't read is her second book, which is With a Fire on High, which I will feature in a later question. That one's written in prose, but I'm so excited to read it because I love her writing so much. And this is about a girl who is a twin. Her twin brother seems to be doing better than she is because she's always having to deal with men who just look at her like for her body. And yeah, but she finds solace in slam poetry, and so yeah, there's a there's a bunch of stuff. I cried near the end of this book, and then like months later when I listened to the audiobook because it was short and amazing, I cried at the same part. So yeah, definitely, if you haven't read this, what are you doing? Read it now. The next question is, fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. I picked like 3 books for this one. I just have a hard time picking one book. So I have Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. I've read all of his books so far except his newest one, Talking to Strangers, but this is the first one I read by him and still my favorite. He does a lot of research into the psychology of humans and other like really interesting facts. So I really enjoyed reading this. And yeah, it talked about like snap decisions versus decisions that you think a lot about before making, and just perception of those decisions and reality of those decisions. It's so fascinating. And Malcolm Gladwell, he is a Black British author, and he's just super amazing. So I love his books, and if you haven't read any of them, I do recommend this one because I think this one's his shortest one. The other one that is pretty popular is Outliers, which talks about the 10,000 hour rule, where to hone your craft or like get really good at anything that you're really passionate about, you have to spend 10,000 hours on it, which is roughly the equivalent of 5 years. So yeah, and then The Tipping Point is also a really good book by him as well. Just read all his books. And then the next thing I picked, this is kind of a shout out to a friend. This is Squid Tunes by Garfield Kwan and Donna Song. She pronounces it Donna, even though it's spelled Dana. Yeah, these are church friends of mine, but they're also doing marine biology, and they were just really annoyed that so many like facts about marine animals were misrepresented or misconstrued. So they created this this webcomic called Squid Tunes, and they have these like fun comics and information that are accurate about these marine animals. But this is their first like bind up book, and it's just a lot of fun. So there's all sorts of things in here. So highly recommend, and you'd be supporting some independent artists and marine biologists. Yeah. And the last book is Marie Kondo's book, which is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, the Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing. So I know a lot of people in the bookish community don't really like what Marie talks about in this book regarding getting rid of your books, because everyone's like, no, that's the only thing we won't listen to her about. But yeah, but I found this book really inspirational. I learned a lot, and I am an INFJ, and I don't like clutter, even though my room is pretty cluttered right now. I need to fix that soon and clean up, but I haven't had time yet. So yeah, I feel like when my room is cluttered, my mind becomes cluttered, and then I can't get anything done. Yeah, let me know if you feel the same way, or if it's just something that INFJs go through. Yeah. The next question is, in order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family or household or friend group that you'd love, that you'd like to be a part of. I can't read today. So for this one, I mean, there is an obvious choice that a lot of people go to for this one, but I decided to choose something else. So I went with the Gang Z, which is just the friend group from the Raven cycle. So like the first book is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and just that whole series is amazing. And so the Gang Z is has 4 people / 5, But Gansey, Blue, Adam, Ronan, Noah, and no, wait, I counted wrong. 5 or 6. And then later Henry. But yeah, I love them all. I also love all the psychics at 300 Foxway, which are Blue's family. And I would just love to hang out with them and go on adventures with them, and it'd be really fun. Number 5, the colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. Now, hold on a second. So, here's my book stack. Oh no. Please don't fall. Yeah, you can see here's Elizabeth Acevedo's With the Fire on High. This is Nowhere Near You by Leah Thomas, which is the sequel to Because You'll Never Meet Me. Umber Touched by Olivia Blackburn is the sequel to Rosemarked. Carrot Cake Murder. Oh, this one. Carrot Cake Murder by Joanne Fluke is one of the food murder mystery series that I like by her. Bookish and the Beast is the third book of the Once Upon a Con that starts with Geekerella, and The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. Earthquake is the sequel to Earthbound by April Lynn Pike. I haven't read any of these, but I just picked stuff off my bookshelves that had orange-ish spines that would fit this, and they're very pretty. So, yeah. Okay, the next question. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. So for this one, I went with The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. Of course, I have to choose a Marie Lu book. I mean, the first line of this book, well, it's technically the prologue. It says, I am going to tell you a story you already know, but listen carefully, because within it is one you have never heard before. The story you know is about a boy named Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. That's actually the first 3 lines. Apparently I can't count today either. But yeah, so I felt this was fitting and probably not a popular choice that people would choose to answer this question with. But yeah, it's really great. And it's one of her newest books. It came out in March, which was the second to last book signing I went to before quarantine started. Like, in-person book signing. I feel sad now. The next question is, the nights are getting darker. Share a dark, creepy read. So I have 3 books that I chose for this, but I only own one of them. The first book is Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. This is the first in her middle grade series that it's a horror series, and you can see that R.L. Stine, who wrote Goosebumps, blurbed it. And yeah, I met her, and she's from Vermont. She's cool. Catherine Arden also wrote the Bear and the Nightingale series, which a lot of people know, and that one's based on Russian folklore. This book was scary. But I mean, I get scared easily, but there have been some scary middle grade books I read that weren't really as scary, but this one, scarecrows. Yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say. It's scary. And then the other 2 books, here's an image, The Girl from the Well by Rin Chupeco. It's pitched as part The Exorcist, part The Grudge, and part The Ring. And it's interesting because it's actually told from the ghost perspective. So she's a vengeful ghost, and yeah, I was like, yes. But that one's really creepy. The first line of that book is, I am where dead children go, because she's in the well. Yeah, so that one's really scary. And then the sequel, The Suffering, here's an image. That one takes place in the suicide forest in Japan, and the stakes get higher in that one. So yeah, both are pretty scary and creepy, but I really loved how Rin wrote those books. And yeah, and I was like, I guess I might like horror. Interesting. The next question is, the days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. I chose two things for this, which I feel like both of these are kind of cheating, but the first book I chose was Cookie Monster's book because I love Cookie Monster, even though I'm not wearing my Cookie Monster pajamas right now, which is kind of sad. But this is just short and hilarious. It has just fun Cookie Monster things in them. Oh, and the front end page just has his blue fur, but the back end page has it with cookie crumbs in it. I think that's so funny. And then the other book, this is actually an anthology, so you could say that it's short if you read like a short story a day, but it's Hungry Hearts, 13 Tales of Food and Love, and this is edited by Elsie Chapman and Caroline Tung Richmond, and this was such a good anthology, and I love food. Yeah, but also these stories are all interconnected, which was really cool. So there'd be characters from other stories written by other authors that pop up in others, like in the stories, and it was just really interesting. And some of the stories were just like not what you'd expect, and I was like, whoa, at the end of some of them. So yeah. Anyways, I definitely recommend those two. The next question is fall. Luckily, it's my favorite season, which it actually is. Returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. So, I live in San Diego and we don't really have seasons. We do have some trees that turn orange or they're already orange and fall colors, but most of the time the trees here are still green. But anyways, for this, I chose two books. One of them is Charlotte's Web. This is a really pretty UK edition book depository that I got. And I mean, the story, it's timeless. It's about a cute little pig and a spider named Charlotte who helps him not get turned into bacon. And yeah, everyone knows Charlotte's Web. This book makes me cry. The movies make me cry. But I love this. And the other one is kind of a series, but it's the To All the Boys I've Loved Before series by Jenny Han. I loved the first book, and I also liked the third one. The second one I liked, but like not as much because love triangle, because I love Peter. So yeah, but definitely like these books are so heartwarming, and I just love everything about them. I love Jenny Han. I wish I'd read these when I was younger. So yeah. And then the last question is, fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. I'm gonna have to put this on. So I have this giant hoodie thingy. It's called the Comfy, and it's like a blanket hoodie, very comfy thing. Okay, so you put it on. I feel like a penguin. So it is oh, okay, that's not working very well. But yeah, it's just this giant thing, and it has a big pocket, so I can easily put a book inside if I want. And then another thing I do, because sometimes in fall it's still kind of hot, so yeah, I usually take the dust jackets off books that I'm reading so that I don't get my sweaty fingerprints on them. For example, this. And I use this purple towel. I just wrap my book in it, and I basically read like this, unless I have to turn the page. But yeah, this way I don't get any sweaty fingerprints on it, and it's great. But yeah, so that is the end of my book tag. For those of you who are wondering, I'm wearing tinted lip balm again. And this is what it looks like. So yeah, it's Honest Beauty's tinted lip balm, the blood orange color, and they're vegan and cruelty free. And I will link down below in the description all the books that I've mentioned, and also this, and also if you'd my boba buddy if you'd like to get a boba plushie or anything. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.